friends, everyone saw what's going on in the universities. So you have a typical example of Israeli or Jewish students who want to engage in conversation with with the protesters and these people, disruptors, or somebody who comes with a megaphone and interrupts their conversation or make noise, and several people come and they start making noise and protest and they scream and the slogans, etc. In America, you're all protected, all these activities are protected by the First Amendment, freedom of speech. You're allowed to say whatever you want, as loud as it could be. It's just that one of the Israeli students in UCLA was asked a very interesting question by Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil asked him, how do you view the First Amendment, being here? It's a great question. First Amendment, being able to speak your mind, is really the base for any democracy, which is good and we enjoy it. But of course, our democracy, our liberty, has to have boundaries. If my liberty doesn't have any boundary and it goes into your liberty, that means that we're not in a free society. A free society has to have a guided and limited liberty in order that everybody have the same rights. So I could talk, and I'm allowed to talk and have the right to talk because you could talk and you have the right to talk, and I cannot infringe your right. But if my freedom of speech stops your freedom of speech, then it's not freedom of speech. That's not liberty. This is the opposite. So I thought about this a lot. And this morning I had a thought, maybe this is actually written in the Pasuk. So there's a Pasuk in Devarim, Perek Tetzayin, Pasuk Chaf. Pasuk says the following: Tzedek tzedek tirdof, liman tichyeh. Pasuk says you have to follow tzedek. Tzedek is justice. The Ibn Ezra and the Ramban and many commentaries ask the question, why is it that it says twice, tzedek tzedek tirdof? You have to follow justice. So one of the answers is very classic, is tzedek tzedek. Whenever the Torah tells you a double language, it's to put emphasis on this. Be very careful with this. The other answer is tzedek tzedek tirdof. Normally we're talking there about a rule, a system of rules, or going to court, etc. So honor the justice system, whether you lose or whether you win. Tzedek tzedek, whichever outcome of tzedek will come, of justice will come, you have to tirdof, you have to follow it. That's the way to live. But I thought for a minute, and there are many answers, but I thought maybe there's a pshat here. Tzedek could only exist as long as another tzedek is there too. My tzedek has to go with your tzedek. My rights could only be right if they don't infringe on your rights. Because if my liberty goes into your liberty, then it's not liberty, it's not freedom anymore. So tzedek tirdof. If you want the tzedek to be, it has to be tzedek for everyone. If it's only tzedek for me, that's not real tzedek. It's always a double tzedek. Tzedek for me and tzedek for you. If it's tzedek for me and it's tzedek for you, so then it's tzedek. Leman tichyeh, it's the only way to live. That's why it says, En cherut ela mi she'osek b'Torah. The only way for cherut, to be free, is osek b'Torah, somebody who studies Torah, which means somebody who is going according to the laws of the Torah. The Torah limits people a lot. You would think, is that freedom to follow the laws of the Torah? You're restricted on 1, 2, 3, 613 restrictions in a sense. But the only way for our liberties and our rights to be real and true freedom, it's only if they have a frame. Only if they go with a limit. Because when they have that frame, when they have that structure, so then everybody is going to have that right. So me screaming on someone on the name of liberty of speech, because you can't stop me from saying whatever I want, but then now I'm not letting you talk because of my freedom of speech, that's not freedom of speech. That's not the intention of freedom. Freedom is when I respect your freedom, and we both have freedoms. My liberty of going through a red light, and I would say, I'm not allowed to go on the red light, and I'm not free to do whatever I want. Yeah, but if you go on the red light, you're going to kill somebody. I'm not free to harm you, because you have your rights also. We have to always do that. Tzedek, tzedek. Whatever is my tzedek, my right, should be also going in someone else's right. And it has to go together. Maybe that's what it means in this week's parasha. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You have to love somebody like you, which means the rights that you enjoy, if you could project them on somebody else, you know how much shalom we do with that? To think first, whatever you don't like being done to you, you shouldn't be doing to somebody else. But this person who comes with a megaphone and starts screaming, hurting slogans, etc., that's not how you build a society. These people are not builders. These people are destroyers, we know that. If you want to build, you engage in conversation. I understand why there could be disagreements on what's going on in general, and especially now in the Middle East. But if you don't let somebody talk on the name of freedom of speech, that's not freedom of speech. Shabbat Shalom.